Yo, what's going on, y'all? This is Marcus Rosa, aka Mazuma TV, back at y'all with some more boxing talk, man. I hope everybody's having a blessed, beautiful, positive, productive night. I hope y'all had a great day overall, man. I'm back at y'all with some more boxing talk. We got some things that we currently need to discuss that's going on in the boxing world, man. We're going to talk about Xander Zayas and Vergil Ortiz having words about a possible December fight. Of course, going along with Erickson Lubin and Vergil Ortiz possibly fighting next. Shout out to everybody that's in the building so far. If y'all could go ahead and hit the like button, that'd be very much appreciated. Let's get the algorithm on the up so that people know that Mazuma TV is live. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building thus far. I already see a few comments in the building. Shout out to the boy Steer a Hook. Steer a Hook. He said, Mark, have you seen that body cam footage of Tank? He's gone mentally, bro. No, I have not. You know what I'm saying? That's new to me. Didn't hear anything about that, but I'll definitely check it out. You feel me? But his charges was dropped, so why the fuck would they even post the body cam footage? I don't understand that. That's corny as shit. But anyways, Go 787 said that Lubin shit crazy with all the drama and Xander happening. Now what is really the truth and the way it is written, they should start negotiations since Xander said yes, right? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of things that go on behind the scenes, and I'm not really a fan of, business being made publicly. You know what I mean? I feel like that's something that should be done in private. And the only thing that boxing fans should know is whether the fight is made or it's not made. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel like social media is allowing a certain level of transparency that shouldn't even be a thing, in my opinion. You feel what I mean? Deals should be done behind closed doors. And I think that's the best way to do them. I think when things get put into the public, things could get messy. That could cause some strain between the two people that's attempting to conduct business, and it could cause a fight to fall through. You know what I'm saying? Just because of public opinion. In my eyes. You feel what I'm saying? I don't know. But I just don't like that. Based on your knowledge, how does negotiations usually go? Well, everything is different. You know what I'm saying? But personally, how the way it usually starts is, with an offer. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody will call you. You said take the overlay off? All right. It usually starts with an offer. And if you're particularly interested in fighting, opponent A in this particular location, then money is discussed. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like percentages, whatever. If there's some type of pay-per-view, that's discussed as well. Things of that nature. You know what I mean? But it always starts with an offer. Are you interested in this opportunity? Yes. Okay, then we can go into the next step and, discuss numbers and things of that nature. If you're able to, agree to the numbers that's being put in front of you, then that's when the contract is presented. You have your lawyers overlook it, make sure there ain't nothing, that would be detrimental to you or your career, whatever the case is. And if everything goes well and, both guys are able to see eye to eye in the situation, then that's when a fight gets made. You know what I mean? That's how it typically goes. I don't know, and that's situations that I've seen unfold, in front of my own two eyes. You feel what I mean? But, I guess everything else plays out different. We definitely going to talk about the Xander Zayas and Vergil Ortiz situation. But shout out to Steer Hook, Go 787, Justin Jackson in the building. He said, Mazuma motherfucking TV. Vergil hand wasn't hurt for boots. These matchups are lit, though. Why you say that, brother? Explain. Let me know what you're talking about. Nah, I ain't going to react to no body cam footage, bro. That's not boxing. I don't really care about that. You feel me? That's corny to me. Why would I react to somebody's body cam? Oh, my God, look at Tank sitting there being interrogated. Oh, my God, look at the handcuffs on Tank's wrist. Bro, nobody care about that, bro. Not over here. That's that TMZ shit. You at the wrong channel, brother. Stop Motion MMA, what up? Let me see. Vergil not going to fight in October and December. He got to pick one. Yeah, I agree. Ralph, what up? Coffee Plant in the building, what up? Go 787 said, either way, I like both fights. I agree, brother, but we definitely going to talk about it. AJ86, Lamont A. He said, what's the word, Mazuma? Hashtag do the knowledge. Do the knowledge, nigga. Absolutely. Shout out to the boy Lamont in the building. Justin Jackson said, Eddie said he wanted Vergil for the October 11th fight, but his team said his hand was healing. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. Yeah, I remember that pretty clearly. And according to the post that's going on right now, he said he'll be available October 18th for possibly Erickson Lubin. Shit not really adding up, but it is what it is. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. So we're going to get into this boxing talk, man. We 5 minutes in. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. Y'all go ahead and hit the likes. It ain't going to cost you nothing to hit the like button, y'all. We on the road to 4K. I would like to hit 4K by the end of the year, man. If we're able to do so, that'll be very much appreciated. Now, let's start from the very beginning. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of curveballs that have been thrown in this situation. I seen that Xander Zayas and Vergil Ortiz had some words previously. You know what I mean? Tension was definitely boiling between the two, but you know, it died down after a while. You see what I mean? So one of the first things that I had seen, let me share the screen for the people to see. You know what I mean? Because we want to show you guys that we not just talking to talk. You feel what I'm saying? We getting this from credible sources, of course. And according to the Ring magazine, man, it says Vergil Ortiz Jr. and Erickson Lubin are finalizing the deal for an October 18th junior middleweight fight in the U.S. on the zone. Sources tell the Ring's Mike Coppinger. You see what I'm saying? So this was definitely a curveball. Just to start off, this was just completely unexpected. I remember it hitting the group chat and being completely confused, bewildered, shocked, taken aback. And why is that? Because from what I was understanding, Erickson Lubin was, in the process of getting a fight done with Bakram Murtazaliyev. You know what I mean? It was sounding like that was a fight that was going to take its course. But I don't know exactly how, that situation fell apart or anything like that. I'm assuming that details will be revealed later on. Maybe it won't. I'm not sure. But one thing I'm going to say is, this is a fight that I was not expecting to get done anytime soon. And that's Erickson Lubin versus Vergil Ortiz. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I should have put a little bit more thought into that, the possibility of them fighting. But it just seemed like they wasn't on the same, route, I guess you would say. They weren't, they were like in the same division. They were both contenders, but they weren't necessarily in the same lane. So this fight right here definitely caught me off guard. What the news? The fight's not made yet. They said finalize it. So when somebody says finalizing the deal, it means it's not completely done yet. A majority of the things have, been agreed to, but the contracts nonetheless have not been signed yet, from what I understand when people say finalizing the deal. You feel me? So, hey, man, that was a fight that I definitely wasn't expecting, but at the same time, once I heard about it, I wasn't necessarily mad at it. You know what I mean? This is a pretty solid fight right here. You feel me? And shout out to Vergil Ortiz because, being at 154 pounds, man, these last couple fights that he's been doing, they've been pretty impressive, man. Like, the Serhii Bohachuk fight, that was a great back and forth fight that could have went either way. He was able to pull that off. Then he went and he fought Israel Madrimov, a former world champion in his own right, who gave Terrence Crawford a pretty competitive fight. And, there may be certain circumstances that prevented Israel Madrimov from performing to the best of his ability, but you can make a case that he beat Madrimov easier than Terrence Crawford did. So he's been on a little bit of a streak so far, and if he gets this Erickson Lubin fight, I'm not gonna lie, I got Vergil Ortiz being the favorite in this one. I do. And it's not because Erickson Lubin's trash or anything like that. Like, Erickson Lubin has been a relevant 154-pound contender for a good amount of time now, and very early on in his career, he faced Jermell Charlo. That fight went how it went, but it went to show you that Erickson Lubin never shied away from no challenges. He was always willing to face top opposition. And he just came off of a good win against Ardell Holmes, from what I understand. I think that was his last fight, and he was able to get the stoppage late in the fight, from what I recollect. So, and they had some bad blood, so that was a good build up to that fight as well. So Erickson Lubin, he going straight into the smoke. He feels like he has what it takes to defeat Vergil Ortiz, obviously, if he's optimistic about facing him. And hey, I like it. I like it. Erickson Lubin is experienced at this point in time. He's faced some great names, man. Like Jesus Ramos. That was a controversial fight, but he beat him. He fought Luis Cuba Arias, who done been around the block, especially at middleweight. Sebastian Fundora, he got stopped, but it was a great fight. That's a credible opponent who's currently, champion in the division right now. Jason Rosario, former unified champion. Terrell Goucher, top contender at 154 pounds. I remember Nathaniel Gallimore. I remember him. You know, Ishe Smith, former world champion, Jermel Charlo, Jorge Cota, who's pretty much the gatekeeper for PBC fighters at 154. Like, Lubin really has an underrated resume when you really look at what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? My boy Anonymous in the building. What up, brother? He don't even introduce himself. He just be talking. Shout out to the boy Anonymous. He said, I really don't think he beat Bohachuk, but if he fights and beats Lubin next, he might be on a solid run at 154. Yeah, like I said, that was a fight that was competitive, you know, close, controversial, I guess you could say. I had Bohachuk actually edging the fight as well, but Vergil Ortiz pulled it off at the end of the day. You feel me? That's just how the way the fight went. I can't change that. You can't change that. But regardless, whether you feel like he beat Sergey Bohachuk or not, you know, he's been facing some solid opposition. He's been facing some solid opposition. Smoochie, what up? What's going on? I hope you're doing well. Yasser Ali, what up? Joe Garcia, what up? But nah, man, back to the topic. This is a great fight right here. You see what I'm saying? Like I said, I got Vergil Ortiz being the favorite in this one right here. And I'm gonna tell you guys why. Like Erickson Lubin, he definitely has boxing ability. We've seen him on his toes boxing with Jesus Ramos and stuff like that, which I felt like was a controversial fight in itself. But he could box really well. He's intelligent. And I think it's tough. I think it's safe to say that he a young vet at this point in his career. You know what I mean? Like Erickson Lubin ain't no old head or nothing like that. He's actually in his late 20s. It's usually where you at the prime of your career. You probably at the prime of your athletic abilities and stuff like that. So Erickson Lubin, for being 29 years old, he definitely done been around the block because, you know, to be honest with you, there's guys who's, you know, 28, 29, 30 years old and have yet to fight for a world title. Erickson Lubin done did that and more. You feel me? So I like his skills. I like the experience that he brings into the ring. But there is something about Erickson Lubin that I don't really like, and it is really his ability to stay focused in the ring. What do I mean by that? I had this conversation in the chat, in the group chat. You know, shout out to the group chat. You know what I mean? On IG, my boy Anonymous, Ralph, Bree, Slime. Who else? J Cash, Calvin. You know what I mean? We be all in the building. You feel what I'm saying? And we was talking about it just a little bit. And Erickson Lubin can box. You see what I'm saying? He could box. And if he's able to use those tools, he could definitely give Vergil Ortiz some fits. And who knows? This is boxing. He could probably pull it off. However, Erickson Lubin has trouble staying focused when it comes to boxing for 12 rounds. You want to know how I know? Just go check out the Sebastian Fundora fight. When he was boxing, he had a lot of success. Shit, he even dropped Sebastian Fundora. He had success in the fight. But there was something that had happened throughout the course of that fight. I got to go back and look at it. It's been a while. But completely loses focus, decides to trade fire with fire. And like I said in a previous live, when you decide to trade fire with Sebastian Fundora, you're giving him exactly what he's looking for. And to be honest with you, out of all the things that he does in the ring, it might be what he do best. Going toe-to-toe, blow for blow with motherfuckers. I feel like that's when he's in the best position to win, to be honest with you. He's tough, he's durable, and he don't mind, you know, getting hit with a shot to get his shit off. You feel what I mean? He be playing the little macho game. And for some reason, Erickson Lubin decided to trade fire with him. He was feeling himself, completely abandoning the game plan. And I think that's why he lost that fight by stoppage. You feel what I'm saying? I think Vergil Ortiz is a completely different type of monster in comparison to Sebastian Fundora. Vergil Ortiz is somebody who a lot of people look at as just like this, you know, this pressure fighter that you know lets his hands go and got punch and pop. And he does have those qualities. Let's not get it wrong. But Vergil Ortiz has some underrated abilities about himself as well. I honestly feel like he could, and I think him and Erickson Lubin have this in common in terms of, you know, they have the ability to box, but they prefer not to because that's not really their bread and butter. I feel like Erickson Lubin, you know what I mean, if he smell blood in the water or if he feel like he can get you up out of there, you know what I mean, he going to try to get you up out of there. Vergil Ortiz, the same thing. I've seen Vergil Ortiz box in spots against Sergey Bohachuk, and ironically, when he was doing that, Sergey Bohachuk really didn't have an answer for it. But, you know what I mean, who he is, like, you know, his identity took over in terms of, like, what his style is based upon, and he let that override, you know what I mean, what was working for him in the fight, which was being light on his toes and boxing. You feel what I'm saying? I said all of that to say, Vergil Ortiz could box. He could get light on the toes. He got a good jab. He got fast hands. He got good punch placement. He showed that in the Israel Mazuma fight. Goes to the body well. He's always in phenomenal shape. You know what I mean? That Serhii Bohachuk fight was tough, but for 12 rounds, this man showed to be in phenomenal shape. And it's probably because, from what I heard, Vergil Ortiz spars every day. That's what I heard. I don't know if that changed, but I remember he did an interview with Eli Sekbak. He said that he spars every day. Now, that could be something that could be very damaging to a fighter. However, that could be something that makes a fighter extremely sharp on the offense and on the defense, because, there's people in training camps that only spar 2 to 3 times a week. If you're sparring every day, you might be taking more damage than the average fighter, but it could also help you because, you know what I mean, you getting more rounds and you getting more looks. You spending more time in there and you sharpening your tools as a result of that. You feel what I mean? Vergil Ortiz is somebody who I feel like Erickson Lubin can't really afford to be trading with, to be honest with you. I feel like Erickson Lubin has to stay on his toes. I think he needs to box. I think he has to fight smart and sharp going into this fight. I think if he gets into any 50-50 exchanges with Vergil Ortiz, I could really see Vergil Ortiz putting Erickson Lubin out. I can see Vergil Ortiz packing Erickson Lubin up, to be honest with you, if he takes the wrong approach. If he takes that same approach that he did with Fundora and try to prove that he Macho Man Randy Savage and that motherfucker, and he want to show his warrior spirit and all that, he gonna get put on the highlight reel again, bro. You feel what I'm saying? So I actually like Vergil Ortiz in this fight. If that fight is made, I would have no complaints at all. That's a great competitive fight with 2 top contenders in the 154-pound division. And shit, what them niggas say? It'll be fireworks. Y'all know what the cliche is. It'll be fireworks. So that was the first piece of information that came out. And definitely caught a majority of people off guard. I don't think anybody was expecting them to be finalizing a deal at this particular time. You see what I mean? So, out of nowhere, Vergil Ortiz comes out. Let me actually pull this up for the people to see as well. You know what I mean? I'm going to give a good, wait, hold up. Dan the Boxing Man just posted something 8 minutes ago. It says Gary Antoine Russell says he's currently negotiating a unification fight. Hence that it is with Richardson Hitchens. Really? 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 Did we just get some breaking news on Mazuma TV while we was going live? Look at Dan the Boxing Man. Gary Antoine Russell said he's currently negotiating a unification fight. Hence that it is with Richardson Hitchens. And this is according to Boxing Scene. Don't really know what to make of this in all honesty. This is just a rumor, I guess, or, something that's going on behind closed doors. We don't have all the details, so we're not going to really get into this. I think this is speculation, to be honest with you, because Gary Antoine Russell didn't come out and particularly say who he's negotiating with. However, if it's a unification fight, it could only be so many people. You know what I mean? It could either be Richardson Hitchens, Subriel Matias, or Teofimo Lopez. So, it is what it is. We'll definitely talk about that, if that ends up becoming a reality. So let's actually pull this up. Let's see. So Vergil Ortiz actually responds. He said that shit cap. Justin Jackson funny. Justin funny than motherfucker. He said that shit cap. Me personally, hold on. Let me read this real quick. Me personally, I don't think Hitchens is fighting Gary Antoine Russell. Not next. That's just my personal opinion, though. I could be wrong. We'll see. Mark Sells Hollywood said Vergil scared of Boots. He got all that energy for Xander, didn't have the same energy for Boots. Oh man, that's just that's like a rabbit hole that I really don't want to go down, to be honest with you, because the whole situation between Boots and Vergil, I ain't gonna lie, it's been exhausting. It's been exhausting, man. Not gonna lie to y'all. I kind of just want to wait to talk about that when it becomes a reality or the fight gets close. You feel me? We should see something in 2026. I don't really want to talk about that too much. Should have been drink the whole Norman and Boost situation, the Boost and Vergil. It's like Boost is fighting Oisma Lima. That's the only thing I really care to talk about. And I don't really care to talk about that until that fight gets closer. You feel me? So there's that. Let me pull this up. Let me actually share the screen for this as well. This is Vergil Ortiz's response to the whole Erickson Lubin. And this is Vergil's response to his fight with Erickson Lubin. He goes on to say, Xander Zayas received an offer to fight me Wednesday and still has till 5 p.m. to agree to the fight. Let's see if Xander actually wants to make the fight happen. Don't count him out yet. So I guess Vergil Ortiz is looking at this situation with Erickson Lubin as like a backup fight, in case Xander Zayas' fight falls through. That's what I got from what he was saying. Seems like he's prioritizing the Xander Zayas fight. And it makes sense because would you rather fight Erickson Lubin to defend the interim title? Or would you rather fight Xander Zayas possibly for a WBO world title? You see what I'm saying? Because like I was saying in the live yesterday, it's been a long time coming for Vergil Ortiz to fight for a world title. I think it's been overdue. In all honesty, I think that his, handlers have done a disservice to him. You feel me? There's no reason why Vergil Ortiz is not a world champion or possibly, and there's no reason why he hasn't fought for a world title in general. You feel what I'm saying? So that was what pretty much got things kicked off. Xander Zayas didn't really take too kindly to what Vergil Ortiz has said, and he wrote at Vergil Ortiz, this is not a real offer. Stop lying to your fans. The answer is yes. Come meet me in Puerto Rico. And apparently this is an email from Eric Gomez, who's, I guess one of the top, one of the businessmen over at Golden Boy Promotions. And I think he sent the email to Carl Moretti. And he says, Carl, thanks for your prompt reply. It's a 50-50 percentage deal. Venue could be in Nevada or California. As for the remaining details, we could work them out. Yes, the zone will put up a fight night advance against a portion of the estimated pay-per-view revenue. What I really need is a confirmation that Xander wants to fight in December 2025. If you confirm that, we could work on the rest of the details. And that's Eric Gomez, the president of Golden Boy Promotions. Now, this sounds like, based off of this email that I'm seeing right here, it seems like, Golden Boy is really interested in making this fight happen with Xander Zayas. And when you look over the style matchup between the two, it's definitely a winnable fight for Vergil. So I see why they're optimistic in making the fight happen because, Xander Zayas is talented, but let's keep it real. He is green. He is young. And being young could be a pro, but it could also be a con, especially when somebody like Xander Zayas doesn't have the experience at 54 that Vergil Ortiz has. You feel what I'm saying? I think it's safe to say that at this point in time, Vergil Ortiz is more battle-tested than Xander Zayas. He's got more looks at an elite level than Xander Zayas. And to be honest with you, you can make a case that Xander Zayas, got the sweetest deal to get a world title in the division. You feel me? But, you can chalk that up to just him having a great team, looking for his best interest. If you could go around the top competition and get to the top of the mountain, a lot of people would choose to do that. You feel me? Anyways, that was, Xander Zayas' perspective on the situation. He said this is not a real offer. But to me, it sounds like a step in the right direction. You feel what I'm saying? They pretty much saying, yo, we got a 50-50 split for y'all. We can talk about, we can get into details about the pay-per-view splits and things like that. We can have it happen. So this right here is letting me know. Within this small email right here, they letting you know what the percentages will be, where the fight could possibly take place, advances. You know what I'm saying? And they talking about pay-per-view splits. They just want to know if you guys are interested in taking that fight so then they could send the offer. You feel me? That's what it looks like to me. So I don't understand why Vergil Ortiz, I don't understand why Xander Zayas saying this is not a real offer. It sounds like they're trying to get a feel for if you're willing to accept the fight. If you're interested in the fight, then they could get into the offer. So it seemed like this was the step before the offer is made. You feel what I'm saying? Why would they send you an offer if they don't even know if you're willing to take the fight, next? You feel me? So he also, Xander Zayas seems like he wants to have the fight happen in Puerto Rico. Now, I understand where Xander Zayas is coming from because that was something that was already, set in place for him from the very beginning. They said that they wanted him to win a world title, and his first title defense would be in Puerto Rico. Xander Zayas also mentioned after the fight against Jorge Garcia that, he'll be back in December. Okay, so I put 2 and 2 together. December, his first title defense in Puerto Rico. So it seems like that's something that's already in play. And if Vergil Ortiz wants to really fight him how, he claims to, he's the world champion. If you want to fight for the world title against me, you're going to have to come see me in Puerto Rico because that's already a date and a location that I have lined up already. That's what it sounds like to me. So, Vergil Ortiz responds to Xander Zayas' reply. He said, what is exactly so unfavorable about the offer? It's 50-50. You have time to recover and train for December, and it will be in neutral territory. Don't run away now. You've had 3 days to agree, and we haven't heard a thing from your side. So that's Vergil Ortiz take on the situation. He's like, bro, you're not at a disadvantage at all in this situation. It's 50-50. We can make it happen at a neutral location, so it's fair to the both of us. Like, what's the problem? It's not like it ain't like, the fight date's too close to, the fight day you just had. You'll have plenty of time to rest, recover, and get ready for a new training camp. What's the situation? And he said it's been a whole 72 hours and Xander Zayas' team has not said a single thing. And it's past 5 p.m. Because remember, Vergil said that, they got to tell 5 p.m. to respond. I don't know if Xander Zayas' team, reached out before that time. But he says Vergil Ortiz follows up because Xander only said that. Vergil Ortiz said if it doesn't happen, it's because he doesn't want it. He's had that offer for 3 days. You guys are only hearing about it now because we said something. Okay. So that's the back and forth that they've been having. I think Vergil Ortiz's father says something as well. He goes on and he says, this isn't true yet. If it's Lubin who's next, it's because Xander deadline. Wait. Hold on. I'm sorry. This isn't true yet. If it's Lubin who's next, because Xander deadline is still at 5 p.m. today. He's had the offer since Wednesday, I believe. I don't know how Ring Magazine could post this if Xander hasn't completely turned it down. So he's pretty much saying like, yo, hold y'all horses. You know what I mean? This ain't really solidified yet. We still waiting on Xander. And Xander still got time to respond. So I don't even know why y'all putting this information out yet. So seems like there's I'm not going to say that it's necessarily confusion, but at the same time, it's a lot going on. There's definitely a lot going on. What it sounds like to me is that Vergil Ortiz, he wants that title shot. He wants that title shot, and he's doing everything in his power to get that title shot happening. Xander Zayas is looking at it like, I'm the world champion. You want to fight me? Come see me. And Vergil Ortiz is like, yo, let's have it happen at a neutral location. So, they not really seeing eye to eye in terms of negotiations yet. Think about it. Xander Zayas, he wants it in Puerto Rico. Golden Boy either wants it in California or Vegas. You feel what I mean? I didn't hear Xander Zayas complain about the money at all. But maybe Xander Zayas is looking at it like, man, I'm the world champion. Why I got to give you 50-50? So it seems like there's already a dilemma between the two. I personally believe that fight does not happen just off of the fact that, well, not next. I don't think this fight happens next. Just off of the fact that Xander Zayas already has something set in motion in terms of having his first title defense happen in Puerto Rico. I'm under the suspicion that he moves up to 160 after this title defense in December in Puerto Rico. And I don't think Vergil Ortiz is going to be willing to go over to Puerto Rico to face Xander Zayas because he feels like he may be at a disadvantage, not style-wise, but politic-wise. You feel me? Because that's going to be a top-ranked event. You know what I mean? Everything's pretty much going to be falling into Xander Zayas' favor in terms of, what Vergil Ortiz will be going against. You feel me? Let me see the comments right here. I ain't tapping with the comments in a little bit. Joe Garcia said that's how negotiations start. Xander just didn't want to take the offer or even try to negotiate. Okay. Go 787. My boy, go 787. One thing about him, he rocked with Xander, bro. Salute. Wait, Oscar. Yeah, I seen Oscar post on his story. He said we just sent Xander an offer or whatever the case is. Well, I guess we'll just sit back and wait to see exactly what unfolds. You feel me? But Go 787 back in his boy Xander. He said, I got Xander boxing him for 12 rounds. Justin Jackson said, Vergil gonna beat Zayas. Woo-wee. That's how you know you got a good fight. Joe Garcia said, Ghost, while Xander didn't reach back out, he went straight to social media. Well, he came back to social media, but it came back. He also answered it. He said, yes, we'll take the fight, but let's do it in Puerto Rico. So it seemed like this, they're on two different types of times in terms of location. You know what I mean? And to be fair, to be real with you, and this ain't me taking sides or nothing like that. They make this fight happen. It's a great fight, but Vergil, you might have to do what these other champions had to do in order to become world champion. You feel what I'm saying? Terrence Crawford, he went over to Scotland to get his first world title against Ricky Burns. Earl Spence went to the UK to get his first world title against Kell Brook. The list goes on and on. Well, Marvin Hagler had to go to England to get his world. What was that? He went to England to get his first world title. These things happen, bro. Tevin Farmer went to Australia to get his first world title. Devin Haney had to go to Australia to become undisputed. Like, these things happen, bro. And George Kambosos came to New York to defeat Teofimo and become unified champion at lightweight. No, yo, Joe talking about, so you saying he responded to an offer with that post? That's exactly what he did. I mean, that might not be the right way to respond to an offer, but read what he said. Read what he said. He said, this is not a real offer. Stop lying to your fans. The answer is yes. Sounds like an answer, brother. That might not be the answer that you want, or that might not be the appropriate setting to answer an offer, but that is an answer. He said the answer is yes. Come meet me in Puerto Rico. So what are we talking about? That's a response to an offer. Now, if he just said this ain't a real offer, stop lying to the fans, that's all he wrote. All right, he didn't answer it. But he said the answer is yes. I wonder if Xander can still make the weight. I think he could probably make the weight one more time, and I think he's moving up. You feel me? And like I said, I predicted this shit. I ain't predict that he will miss weight or anything like that. But that whole little series that they had in the lead up to his fight with Jorge Garcia, he said, I just got to make sure I make weight. I just got to make, I just got to make weight. I just got to make weight. He kept talking about the idea of making weight. And I'm like, yo, what's going on with Xander, man? He sound like he's not confident about what the results going to be on the scale. Like, what's going on? And like his nutritionist, his chef, nutritionist, whoever she was, had like a whole segment on that video just talking about, you know what I mean, how she, like how she gets him ready for fights and, what he's eating, and had like a whole segment of him eating and shit like that. So I'm like, something's not right. You feel me? And then I seen how he looked on the scale, and I was like, oh, okay. I didn't say he was negotiating, Joe. You putting words in my mouth. What I said was he gave an answer to that offer. That's not him negotiating. All I said, well, I'm gonna say this. Let me rephrase that. I didn't say he was negotiating. I said that he answered. He gave you the answer on social media. That's not. I don't think that's the appropriate setting to give you the answer. But nonetheless, he gave you an answer. The nigga literally said the answer is yes. You feel me? Like I said, I don't really like, business being spoken about publicly, and I ain't really like that email being screenshotted and posted online. I feel like these business moves need to be made in private. You know what I mean? And then once they put something together, then they reveal it to the public. I think that's how it should be done. But it is what it is. What can I say? She said he be sneaking too much chicharron. What you know about that, Smoochie? Let me find out you be messing with these Hispanic brothers. You find out. You find out you got a type, Smoochie. Keep playing. What you know about that? What you know about chicharron? You talking about that motherfucking chicharron is pig. What you know about that? Joe Garcia said, let's see if they negotiate then since Xander said yes. I mean, yeah, that's what we going to have to wait and see. But me personally, I don't think the fight's going to happen because I think they're going to have some disagreements with the setting. I think that's going to be a big issue. But if Vergil Ortiz really wants to win a world title, he got to take the risk necessary that other champions had to make to put themselves in position. So Vergil need to do everything in his power. He shouldn't be talking about, oh, let's have it happen at a neutral location. Bro, you don't dictate that. You don't dictate that. Because the reality is you going up against, and it don't matter how, if you fought the better opposition or whatever, Xander's the champion. It's not like you ever won a world. It's not like you coming up from 47 and you a champion in your own right and you the more popular attraction. I don't know if you a more popular attraction than Xander right now. I don't know if you got the fan base that Xander got. I don't know that. Maybe you do. I don't know. But one thing I do know is he's the champion and you're not. You feel me? So when y'all go to that negotiation table, you might have to submit to certain things in order to get that fight going. I think the setting is going to be the reason why the fight don't happen. And Vergil might be willing to go to Puerto Rico, but is Golden Boy going to be willing to put their fighter in position, somebody who may possibly be a future cash cow, because you already know Ryan going out the door, Canelo left, Jaime Munguia left. You know what I mean? Floyd Schofield and them, they be pump faking and shit. Vergil Ortiz probably their best shot at becoming a cash cow that they can make a lot of money off of because he could fight. He the real deal. You think they going to put him in position where he going to be fighting in somebody's backyard and possibly lose? And fuck his stock up in the game? I don't know. I don't know that. I don't know that. Smooch, you ain't even answer my question. How you know about that chicharron? They be frying that shit up in Connecticut. Smoochie said, to be honest, I want more drama before they fight. There needs to be a build-up. Yeah, I like it. I love a little motherfucking back and forth before a fight. You know what I mean? I don't know if y'all ever had these. Ooh-wee! These better than the actual Lay's, like the bag of Lay's, the sour cream and onion ones. These right here, the stacks, the truth. You surrounded by Ricans. Yeah, I heard Connecticut got a lot of Ricans, man. That's what I heard. I think they actually behind like Philly and New York. I think they right behind like, outside of Florida, of course. I heard Connecticut got a good population of Ricans, man. I need to go over there. I gotta see what it's like over there. I got some. My dad managed a pro fighter named Victor Medina. He fought Raymond Ford in the amateurs and shit like that. He from Hartford, I think. I think he from Hartford. He got his own gym over there now and all. Man, this motherfucking shit tough as a motherfucker. So yeah, I gotta go tap in with my Ricans over there. We got everybody, PR, Dominicans, Brazilians, Mexicans. We don't really got Brazil. I mean, unless they just be in the cut or something, Philly not known for their Brazilians. We definitely got Dominicans heavy. They be blending in with the Ricans and shit. We got Mexicans, but they in certain parts of the city. They ain't more in like South Philly. And I think they mainly in South Philly. They be blending. They be with the Asians in South Philly. But yeah, we not really. I knew a girl that was Brazilian that I went to high school with, and then I even trained. I did a couple sessions. I had a client of mine who was Brazilian, but she wasn't from here. But she went to Temple. Ain't really no Brazilians over here. Okay, shout out to my Brazilian folks, man. Joe Garcia says star power dictates A side. Ryan Garcia never been a champ, but he stayed at A side. Who is he the A side against, brother? Was he the A side against Tank? Was he the A side against Devin Haney? I don't even know. I don't even know if he was A side against Dev. He might have been the A side against Rolly, but he lost. Who was? Yeah, he might have been the A side against Haney. Because it sounded like he made more than Haney. Whatever. He was the A side. That's crazy. Yeah, so you definitely make a point, Joe. Star power dictates A side. What the fuck? Devin took 45, Ryan took 55. God damn, they made that much? Them niggas getting to the money, boy. Jesus Christ. Shout out to the boy PYP Boxing. He said, I'll be the only Mexican in Florida covering the MVP cards. They all non-Mexican Latinos, like 10 fights in 2 days, all PRDR Venezuela. We not really known for Venezuela over here, Venezuelans neither. We don't really got them over here. Unless they be hiding, I don't know. He was the A-side against Rolly. He was. Yo, PYP, are you coming to Philly for the Boots fight? Let me know, man. I'm gonna go see you, man. I gotta talk to you, man. We gotta talk about this money, man. PYP be getting to a bag. He be humble about it, but he be getting to a bag, man. We gotta talk. Look, I'm looking for an opportunity, man. How much them Boots tickets? When I saw the pre-sale, I think like the close ones, I think they was running about like 250, 270, 250 a ticket. I don't know though, man. I'm a cheap motherfucker, man. I don't like to be paying money for that. I don't know. I might not go, man. Mark looking for a little extra. Shout out to Frank Martin. Yeah. Always looking for that, man. Trying to set myself up so I ain't gotta be, so I can just focus on boxing. That's the goal. I'm putting in this time right now, so when I get in a certain position, I can just solely focus on boxing. That's my goal, just to solely focus on boxing, and I ain't gotta worry about any other types of incomes. Smoochie, go check it out. I think it's on Ticketmaster. I don't know if the pre-sale's still going on. It's on Ticketmaster. I think the code is Boots 154. Then you click that, John, and then it's going to show you the tickets. It's going to unlock the tickets. Go take a look at it. If you coming to Philly, Smoochie, let me know. Yeah, the Wells Fargo it's going to be beautiful. I need to figure out when the press conference is going to be so I can pull up. For the Shakur Cepeda fight, I got my tickets for around 20. Oh, okay, you was at Shakur Cepeda fight. That's what's up. But yeah, that's a situation that's going on between Xander and Vergil. You know what I'm saying? Good shit. Go 787 said, Mark, are we getting predictions for tomorrow? And are you doing a live commentary? Let's actually pull up the box so we can do some predictions. I think I already told you I got Moses Thomas sparking Dillian White. Dillian looked really small. Moses is bigger than I thought too. Moses is bigger than I thought. When I seen them head to head, I was like, oh, okay. I thought Moses was like little, but he not. He's good. He not like the tallest heavyweight, but he not really short neither. You can tell he got a long reach too. That kid could be something, man. Hopefully he keep his head straight. He could be something. But it start with Dillian White. Dillian White looked very small. Like smaller than usual. I don't know. Coincidence? I think not. I don't know if that's a coincidence, y'all. Y'all let me know. That boy looks small as hell. Oh shit. That nigga Rouse said, I'm predicting it right now. Moses stopping White in the first round. What? God damn. Yo, Ralph, if you on the money, bro, you a bad motherfucker, bro. That's a bold pick, but it's realistic too. It's realistic too. Who you got? Raymond Ford or Abraham Nova? I got Ford beating the dog shit out of Abraham Nova. Anonymous said Moses by uppercut KO. I would love to see Moses stop him with a left hook because that's what they always brag about with Dillian White. Man, he has a massive left hook. He has a massive left hook. I hope Moses sparking with that same left hook. I hope they throw left hooks at the same time and Moses get it. And to be real, Dillian ain't got no chin for real. I remember he was at the top of his powers with the motherfucking juice. And Oscar Rivas had that nigga on Queer Street. Y'all remember that shit? He was at the top of his powers. So crazy how he popped dirty. Jesus Christ. Oscar Rivas had that boy on Queer Street. You don't like Dillian White? Why? Why you think, Yasir? Why you think? I'll let you answer that. If you notice, White fixed his chin using that. You can't fix a chin. If you ain't got one, you ain't got one. Using that cross guard. Okay. Okay. Let's see when he get caught in between a shot. Let's see if his chin there. Yeah, man. Dillian is a sucker for that uppercut, man. It's crazy how often he get caught with it. That remind me of remember when Ricky Hatton was like, he said left hook roll under, left hook roll under, left hook roll under. Oh, right hook. He said right hook roll under, right hook roll under. Talking about Pacquiao. Pacquiao got him with the same shit that he was talking about. Bing, whoa. Ricky Hatton threw a punch, fell right after the hook. Dickhead. Right hook roll under. Right hook roll under. Pacquiao hit him with a right hook, rolled under. That nigga stuck. Yeah. You said Wilder deserved it. What you talking about? Deserve what? Tyson Fury a drug cheat too. I'm talking about Ricky Hatton coming back though. Yup, and Ricky Hatton ain't he hated any type of punch, bro. I remember Floyd was catching him with them fucking lead right hands. Bang, bang, head just bang, bang. I was like, damn, back of his head touching his back and shit. I was like, sheesh. When Tyson pushed White, I was dying. Bro, that shit was funny. I ain't gonna lie. He said, bing, bing. Yo, he's bing, bing, nigga. Dillian White said that he only got knocked out because he said Fury pushed him and his head hit the canvas. I was like, Dillian, stop it, bro. Talking about he pushed me. And when he pushed me, back of my head hit the canvas. Yeah, but what caused you to be out of your senses for you to hit your head on the canvas, bro? It was that motherfucking uppercut. Cotto versus Hatton. I remember that. Cotto would have put that boy in a body bag. 140 Cotto. Woo. Cotto used to be like this. with that wide ass yeet, yeet. Like, damn. He would have stopped Ricky. He would have gave Cotto exactly what he was looking for. Ricky would have tried to run right into the smoke and got burnt up. Ricky Hatton versus Floyd. I was young as shit when that fight happened, bro. What year was that? Was that like 2008? Let me see. They fought in 2007. So I was 9. I was 9 in 2007. Yup, about to be 10. Bro, I never forget that shit. I watched that shit with my father. I was staying over his crib that weekend. Bro. The way that them people was cheering. Yo, first of all, I don't know how many niggas Ricky Hatton brought over to the UK, bro. How many people he had in the UK? Thousands of people flew in from the UK. That's all I know. Thousands of people came from the UK, and there's only one Ricky Hatton. Bro, they in the crowd blasting their horns and their trumpets. Bro, they had a whole band out there. And you want to know how they know? You want to know how you know them niggas was lit? Because even when Ricky was getting his ass whooped, like I still remember he was getting dropped and all. They still was playing their instruments. They still was celebrating. I was like, what the fuck? Like, your boy just got clipped. He just got his O took. And they still was celebrating. I'm like, yo. Bro, that check hook, bow. Floyd just turned. Bing, nigga hit his head on the turnbuckle. Boop. Boop. I was like, damn. Floyd did him dirty with that jump. Was that fight in the UK? No, that shit was in Vegas. Floyd wasn't going over there. Floyd probably would have made more money if he went over there for real, for real. Floyd made $25 million for that joint. Ricky made 10. Ricky made $10 million, bro. Luis Collazo almost stopped Ricky late before that fight. Luis Collazo been around the block. That's a fucking vet right there, bro. Shout out to my Puerto Rican brother, Luis Collazo, man. I would love to bring him on the channel too. See, those are type fighters that I would like to talk to because them niggas' stories gotta be crazy. He been retired for a while. I mean, not retired, but he hasn't fought in a while. He came back and he beat niggas, bro. Like, Luis Collazo he been in the game, I don't know how long. Let me look. He started in 2000. He made his pro debut in 2000. And his last fight was in 2023. 23 years of boxing. He fought real names, too. Ricky Hatton, Shane Mosley, Andre Berto, Victor Ortiz, knocked out Victor Ortiz, brought the bitch up out of Victor Ortiz, to be honest with you. Amir Khan, Keith Thurman. I remember he knocked out Sammy Vasquez, too. Sammy Vasquez, they was piping him up on PBC. I remember that. Brian Perella, that nigga that used to come out with them suits. I think Roy Jones used to train him. Samuel Vargas. Yeah, I remember that. He fought Montes Stanionis, too. Luis Collazo, a gangster. Can I get Zab? I don't know. Do I know anybody that knows Zab? My pop came up in the same place as Zab. I don't know. I might. I could probably get Zab. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I got connections to a lot of people. It just be like it really be timing because people don't be available the same time as me. I'm gonna have my dad reach out to Blair Cobbs this week. I want to bring Blair on. Zab interview would be dope. Facts. I like it. I would study for that. Get my guy Greg on Philly shit. I've been had Greg on here, bro. Go look it up. Mazuma TV, Greg Hackett. We got videos on her, brother. But I can get Greg on whenever. I know him personally. Blair is hilarious. I would love to bring him on. He said Blair cornball. I see what you're saying, but he funny though. He entertaining. Zab a fucking legend. He said send a link for what, Mastermind? For what? Zab the man for real. Zab done been around the block too. I don't want to talk to Mastermind today, man. Matter of fact, let me put the link up. Anybody that want to come on here, let's chop it up, man. Zab would be a good interview. Y'all okay? Y'all fucking with the Zab interview? Y'all really want that, John? My guy Cloudy B Zab. Josh Cloudy could fucking fight. Stop being scared. All right, Mastermind, relax. Fuck, I'm gonna be scared of. I like that Luis Collazo interview though. I would like to do that. I think he would be an underrated interview, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Who the fuck is that? Who that? Oh shit, you got your actual name on here, Mastermind. Yo.
Yeah, actual. Got that government, yeah, man. Philly. What's up, Philly?
What's up?
Say this ain't the dope fiend today. That mastermind the dope fiend. This the clean guy.
Yeah.
How you doing, brother? How the family? Everything good?
Everything's well, bro. How you doing?
Man, excellent. Finally got that paper. Got that paper Thursday. Got that paycheck. You heard me? We had a little we had a takeover at the job. A new company took over. And you know the old company salty, so they playing around with that paper, Mazuma. You know what I mean? They playing with that paper. I need that PTO paper. You know that paid time off they left on the table. Bro, I know you know about it, youngster.
Yo, I got 90 hours of PTO I ain't even used yet.
I had 112. I had 112 like Bad Boy and Diddy. Hey, but I only been there. But I've only been there half a year, so you know. I mean, I only been there since October, so under a year you get half. Mazuma, that's the deal. You don't get the whole thing.
I started my new job in October too.
Yeah, man, you come on, we hustling, we getting this paper, man. Then don't let the commenters throw you off, Mazuma. I notice you be getting thrown off by the commenters when they be hating and shit. Like fuck them. Like if they hating, they ain't shit. They you entertaining them. You know what I mean? Stop acting like they said. If you commenting, they ain't got the balls to show their face, they name. You know what I mean? I'm real. Like you say, I got name, face, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Like you say,
what's on your mind though, man?
You know, I'm deep on this Crawford Canelo. Oh my God. It only can go one way. You know what I mean? It only can go one way.
Hold on, man. We got somebody else backstage, but I can't see his face. Who does? He ain't showing his face. It ain't happening, brother.
Yeah, I had to show government.
It says his name is Boots is the best. I don't know who that is, brother.
Yeah, my that mastermind was talking all that drugs. Now you got to show social security number. Everything.
You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Why you ain't showing your face though?
No, listen, bro. I just came here to talk my shit about my man Boots. I ain't gonna lie, Devin Haney, he's a
Where
bitch.
You from?
He's scared.
Where you from?
You know what I'm saying? I'm from New York.
Oh, okay. I could tell. You sound like
NYC.
Come on, bro. Look, you can't even tell I'm really from the Biddy. I'm Philly. You know what I'm saying? Why would I be supporting Boots? But another thing, Devin Haney, he's a bitch. I'm just letting y'all know. You know what I'm saying? He's scared to fight Boots. We all know this. Why would Boots take, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of cheese when he can make a big ass fight? You know what I'm saying?
He literally kicked himself off on my son life. I did not kick him. My hands was right here. He literally just logged off. I don't know what that nigga was talking about. Anyways,
Yeah.
shit. What you
So
say
Mazuma,
you was locked in on the Canelo John?
yeah, man, that's a man. It's fascinating, man. It's like I would have been nervous if Mayweather was fighting Triple G, Mazuma. I would have been nervous. I think Triple G had a good chance to win at 160, at 160 middleweight, a weight that Mayweather never fought at. I think I would give the edge to Triple G, undefeated Triple G, that is.
Okay.
It's too much of a risk to take to go up to middleweight for Floyd.
What they gotta do with Terrence Crawford and Canelo though? That's
It's the
two tough
same shit. That's how difficult it is, sir. It's just as difficult as Floyd beating Triple G. It's more difficult, matter of fact, because Canelo owns a victory over Triple G, two of them. The third fight was I died on that night, Saturday, September 18th, 2022. That was my death, but I'm back. God is good. But
Nigga, what?
Canelo, I died that night. That's when I lost. That's when I left this earth and God brought me back. I'm only 3. But back to the fight. Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest Mexican champions I have ever seen. You must slay him, Mazuma. Take him out. And I want the judges out of it too, sir. I don't want no opinions. I want facts. You see what I mean? Stop the fight, sir. Trinidad Hopkins, I want that type of night. You know.
And who favor?
I want my boy Terrence Crawford to win bad, man. It's stressing me out on me. I don't want him to lose. I got a lot of bread on this, cuz.
How much you put up?
34.
34 what?
100. I got a lot riding on this, brother. Hell yeah, I got to go with my people, Oklahoma. Ain't anybody from Oklahoma?
I rock with it, but I'm saying, what you getting in return if you win?
It's gonna be tears. 11-5.
11-5? Not bad.
Yes, sir.
Not bad.
But I need the stoppage though. For the victory. Yeah, but I can get 8, but I still get 8 on the victory. But on the stoppage, I get 11-5.
Okay.
Any kind of victory, disqualification, anything. And I just hopefully he's watching. I need him to throw that bow early. I want you to throw that Mike Tyson elbow but within the first 3 rounds, Mazuma. I need that. I want you to cut that eye deeply. Remember, I told you about that strategy.
Damn, man.
We don't have to.
They saying you got some money to blow in the chat, man. You gonna donate to the Mazuma Foundation?
Oh, so we on extortion now. How much you want, homie?
I ain't extorting nobody. I'm asking.
No, them motherfuckers in the chat. Nah, is they gonna they talking? Is they gonna donate? Ask the talking. Why people always talking? Is they gonna donate?
They did already.
Okay.
You don't put that.
Hey, ain't nothing for me to donate. Shit, I'll be on your fucking platform. Ain't nothing. Ain't no thing. Don't whatever I give, appreciate. I don't give a damn what I give. Appreciate what I give. Because I hate when folks, because we live in a nation where people get shit and don't appreciate it. It don't matter what I give. I'm saying, right. I don't give a fuck if you give me $1.
You give, but what you giving?
Right. Hey, you will see. You will see it hit the heart thing on it. Don't try to lock me in. You know, I'm from the old school, man. I can't commit. I already been married.
Sound like you gonna duck soon as you get asked about it. You gonna
See, y'all Philly, hey, cuz just cause
why
you
you
from
talking
Philly,
about
man.
Philly, man? Talk about
I'm
me.
telling you because you heartless. Because you heartless. You gotta believe motherfuckers when they're telling you the truth. You gotta look in my fucking eyes.
Yeah.
It ain't shit. I said put your cash up on there. Shit. Don't let me be the only motherfucker donate.
Niggas donate every day, B.
And what the fuck, and how the fuck you know I got, not them, not you, but how the fuck they know I got cash to blow? I'm just hustling, motherfucker. You don't know what the fuck going on.
You
I
put
just told you a
3,400 on the
situation.
fight.
I don't, yeah, that's how I live my life. So how I go, what if it go the wrong way? So what if it go the wrong way, Mazuma? Is you gonna, let me give Mastermind some money, man. I know he got fucked up in that Canelo fight. No, you ain't gonna give a fuck. You know what I mean? They act like, he got money to blow. Do they got money to blow? Stop talking and action. Like, look, put that on the donation. Make sure you put that on there. Tell Mastermind to match this. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, it's all good. But that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to blow up your platform. See, I come on here to get you gang. It don't matter because if you become, just think you become Bill Maher level, right? You know who Bill Maher is?
No.
Okay, let me name another guy. Shannon Sharp. I know you know him.
Yeah.
You become him, you know me. I'm in there. Unless you be like, F me. You like you said, it's Philly. We gonna see what the Philly love. You might be like Fresh
You be
Prince.
saying, I done asked to reach out to you personally, and you be ducking me. You just be like, man, whenever I show up on the channel, I show up on the channel.
You see what I'm going through in life, man. $3,400 bets. What you think? You think I'm a Rain Man winning these bets? I lost bets too. I just told you I lost that bet on Victor Ortiz versus Money Mayweather. I bet on Victor, the young lad.
How much you bet on that?
That was a few years ago, man. That was probably a couple hundred. But, you know, I just know it was some money.
Chef Josh said, me and Mazuma betting on the Sam Noakes Abdullah Mason fight for push-ups. Sheesh, how many push-ups we talking and who you picking, brother? Because I ain't picking Sam Noakes. So how many push-ups we betting, brother? And they gotta be diamonds. They gotta be diamond push-ups. They can't be no regular Jones.
So you said the new gig, how the new gig? You say you like that shit up there at your job? Or you don't like that shit?
Sorry. It's work.
Hey, I was telling you in the chat, yeah, I'm at that spot. I'm where it's at. Yeah. I'm where it's at. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's about 8-to-1 ratio if you catch the drift. Woo. It's about 8-to-1 ratio. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
You ain't pulling none of them hoes, man. That shit crazy.
No, ain't no hoes. Ain't nothing but beautiful women. Ain't no hoes. Just beautiful women. No, yeah, I'm you know my personality. You know I got the gift of God. You know I got the gift of God. I can tell. Then I know about every topic. That's why you be like, let's get back to this. Because I can go, what you want to talk about? Boxing, politics, religion. I know the whole world. I'm like, I'm probably the smartest dude that been on your chat. That's why they don't like me. That's why the world don't like me.
Mastermind. Right. That's the perfect name. My boy, I got Noakes by stoppage, 30 diamonds. God damn. I'm not talking about the diamond. I'm talking about you picking Noakes, stopping Abdullah. Oh, yeah, I'll take that shit all day, brother. Look.
Who is Abdullah?
Lock that shit in. Abdullah Mason. Lock that shit in, man.
What weight division, Mazuma?
What? You don't know Abdullah Mason, brother? You need to tap back into your mastermind shit. Go do your research, brother.
That's what you be educating me, man. Wait, division. Yeah, I'll check him out.
But you got to see it for yourself. This kid is the truth. He the future, man.
What, welterweight, middleweight, what?
Lightweight.
130.
And he from Ohio.
What part of Ohio? Cincinnati or Cleveland?
I think he's from Cleveland.
Oh yeah. Cleveland got some. They got yeah. You know.
Let me check just to confirm. I don't know. Let me see where he's from. Damn, dog. You should know him. Y'all got a diamond over there. Yeah, he from Cleveland. He about to fight for a world title on Devin Haney card with Brian Norman.
So I know in your heart you believe that Canelo will win but you're rooting for Terrence
I didn't
Crawford
say
like
that.
me.
I didn't say
Yeah,
that.
yes, you did. Our last telecall, teleprompter call, whatever they call these things. You said if you had to bet 5 years in prison, you would bet on
Oh
Canelo Alvarez. Yeah,
yeah.
that's your heart. That's showing what you really believe.
But
Yeah, I got you there. I put you all the way on the
it
cross with that one. Yeah, you gotta make it.
ain't because like I
Mhm.
don't believe in Bud. I just think it's an uphill battle. That's an uphill battle. Like I'm rooting for Bud though. Don't get it fucked up.
Of course you're rooting because you know it's impossible. He's trying to impossible. He's trying to do something that's never been done before. That's crazy. He's trying to do something that never been done before in the history of boxing. Who did this? 3 weight divisions? Have you seen it?
No, not at a high level. No.
So that means you young, I'm old. You get to enjoy this at a young age. So I done made it to this. I could have got shot in my face 3 times. I could have been in the penitentiary. I could have, listen, I could have died at what? At birth. But God bless me. Crawford, Canelo. If he wins, top 5 dead or alive.
Yeah.
Jada Kiss, Beanie Siegel, all that. I love Philadelphia. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, I love Philadelphia, sir. Don't never get it twisted. AR Ab is my favorite
Oh, what you know about
current.
AR?
He's my favorite current. I love him in a Dark Low. Oh my gosh. Philadelphia is my second home that I'm scared to be. Hey, I ain't gonna lie with Zuma. I'm scared to go to Philly. That shit's so grimy. I'm like, I ain't gonna make it. Huh? I ain't built for it, man. When they killed my boy Cheese, I would have went before Cheese died, but once they killed Cheese, I got scared. I was a Cheese fan. I'm listening to Cheese. I'm one of them weirdos.
Nah,
So
he
when
was
he,
just It's some shit going on in Philly, but Cheese was just with the wrong crowd. He wasn't really like
that's
like
That's what
Philly.
you gonna be saying about me. You gonna be saying the same shit, like, man, Master, man,
You ain't
he
about to
just
be with them
hey,
young dudes, bro. You ain't about to be with them young dudes.
it don't matter. Dead is dead. If you get
Yeah,
smoked, you get smoked.
bro. I've been living in Philly my whole life, bro.
That's why you still
I've
alive.
avoided,
You built there.
but I'm saying the reason why the whole time I've been here, I ain't never been robbed. I'm not saying it can't happen, but I never been robbed. I never been jumped. Never been shot at. If you mind your business, you chilling.
And that where I'm from, that happened to me every day. Robbed, shot at, jumped every day. I told you everybody hate me because they know I'm like top 5, one of God's favorite people. You know, since he brought me back to life and stuff.
You 3. You 3 years old.
Yeah, on the comeback, I just made it back, man. That's why I'm learning a lot of stuff. But like you said, God protects babies and fools, and I'm both.
Damn, you a year older than my son. That's crazy.
But who's got more intelligence? Him, of course.
Yo, Teach, what's going on, man?
Yo, salute. Salute to the panel. What's up, Mazuma?
So, what's on your mind?
Now, I
Respect.
wanna talk to you about Xander, man.
What about him?
Yeah, like for me, Xander is kind of him right now, and he's not even at his prime yet.
Yo, that accent's crazy. Where are you from again?
Caribbean, Antigua.
I got a
Yeah,
coworker that's from Antigua. Okay.
yeah, but Xander's last performance, man. I mean, showed me that he's a dangerous young guy at 154, man. Like the way he fought against his last opponent. The dude, he didn't just win, in my opinion. Like the way he did it, to me was kind of special. Dude dominated with like accuracy, like his timing, and what caught me by surprise was his composure, man. Like while I was watching that fight, I thought that he was like a champ with the belt already. Like he was fighting like a vet in there.
And you
Like
you're
the
referring to
way,
Xander, right?
yeah, like the way he controlled the pace, like the way he was neutralizing the guy, the way he landed like counters, like the way he moved around the ring, and that wasn't Tom and Jerry. Like he was moving strategically.
Yeah.
And again, at his age, right? At his age, like the dude, he's only going to get better because he's not even at his prime yet. And again, like the way he fights, he could have gotten the guy out there like if he pressured him, at certain points, in my opinion. But he controlled himself and just continued using his IQ and just went the distance with the guy. So it kind of showed his discipline, his discipline in the fight. And in my opinion, these are the type of boxers I like. My favorite style is pretty much pure boxing. So I'm always going to root for the boxer in any situation. I think they always have like the higher chance to win. And I think if he continues to fight that way, it's probably going to take him, far at 154, and he's like a threat to any of those guys. People may look at him saying, okay, he's not going to knock anybody out at 154, but you don't only win by knockouts. You could win by outboxing your opponent, and I think Xander could do that to any of these guys. So with the Vergil fight, I feel like this is a possibility for Xander. Like he can win that fight, in my opinion, if it were to happen. But I'm hearing Vergil is fighting Lubin right now. Is that it? What about that
Well, from what we last heard, according to the Ring magazine, Mike Coppinger and them, Vergil Ortiz and Erickson Lubin are finalizing the deal.
today?
It seems like that's something that is heading in the right direction. But Vergil Ortiz made it clear that pretty much he'll put that Erickson Lubin fight to the side if Xander Zayas agrees to fight him. He gave him a deadline and all that stuff, 5 p.m.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Xander Zayas said that he was interested in the fight, but he wants to make it happen in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
De La Hoya, Golden Boy and them, Eric Gomez and them, they wanted to happen in either California or Vegas. So they're looking to make it a neutral location. But Xander, since he beat Jorge Garcia, said that he'll be back in December. And Bob Arum promised him that his first title defense will be in Puerto Rico. So I think that's a little bit of a dilemma in terms of like the location. You know what I'm saying? And there may be some other things that Xander Zayas might push a little bit, might give some pushback on, like the percentages and stuff like that. Because, I mean, it's all speculation. I'm not sure. I don't know what Xander Zayas is thinking. But, with him feeling like he's a world champion, he told Vergil Ortiz, he was like, bro, like, you can say whatever you want. I'm world champion and you not type shit. So he probably going to use that to flex at the negotiation table, like, why I got to do 50-50 with him? I'm a world champion. He got to fight me. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's probably what he thinking. You feel me?
I mean,
Chef Josh, what up?
What's good? What's good, fam?
We betting on push-ups, man.
Yeah, we betting on them diamonds, 100%.
Yes, sir.
What up, OG? What's good, y'all?
Good.
Philly in the building, man. We here.
Yes, sir. Philadelphia.
Yes, sir.
Chef, you what part of Philly you from, Chef?
Well, I'm from West, but I'm living in Southwest right now. You know what I mean?
Oh, all right.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So, what we talking about? The Crawford right now?
Oh no, well, Teach was cooking up on the whole Xander Zayas situation.
So let me just add on that real quick. Xander Zayas is being protected. He's being protected by Arum, and they just pump faking with getting the big fights. They trying to age those other guys out and see if they move on and all that. In the Boots situation, Boots gonna just handle that dude real quick, and then whoever is gonna duck, they're gonna end up ducking Boots. That's my opinion.
Man, I think Xander's with the smoke, man. Like when he said he wanted to fight from there, I felt that was real. And now that he's saying he wants to fight Vergil, I feel that is real.
Vergil stopped.
Who wants? So Boots want Vergil.
Boots to stop him. I mean, Vergil will stop Xander, but stay away from Bachlam. Whatever they do, though, whatever Xander do for his own health, you gotta stay away from him. 100%. Yeah.
So how did y'all feel about Madrimov and Ortiz bout? What was y'all thoughts on that?
He was touching. I mean, Paul. He was getting at Ortiz a little bit with his movement, but Ortiz was just walking him down and just beating him up at times too. So it's like the 115, 113 was crazy. That was crazy. That was too
What
crazy.
was a clear victory for Ortiz?
Yeah. I think it was 8-4. I think it was closer to
Okay.
8-4, 9-3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude looks slick though. Dude looks slick out there. He got some good skills, man.
But he
I'm
didn't
looking at his skills.
Ortiz at all. He couldn't hurt him.
That,
Ortiz,
Oh, okay.
he
was a
he had him
close,
on the ropes. He was holding all that. You know what I mean?
that was a close fight for me, man. Like Majimov was giving him trouble with his movements, the way he feints and stuff. But Virgil,
Yeah,
man,
he's a
Virgil,
bad. Hey, Madrimov is definitely one of the best guys in boxing today. He just got a couple losses, but he's a definite threat to
Oh,
anybody.
there
everybody
are
talk
there are
about
like two, there are
Adjumant.
like
One at a
two.
time. One at a time, y'all. One at a time.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
I just want to say, I just want to say that there's an echo.
yeah. Madrimov. Everybody talk about Crawford. Madrimov. Yo, he did 1,000 fates on Crawford. If he would have fought, if he would have just put his high guard up, he would have walked down Madrimov and beat him up too and stopped him. Like the fate and like Crawford was trying to play a chess match with Madrimov.
Yeah, I
Basically,
disagree with you on that though.
he was doing 1,000 fates, resetting and all that. He wasn't even throwing no punches like that for real. Yeah, but he
Right.
did.
That was the only way to win the fight though.
He was catching them.
He put the best game plan against that Madrimov. He knew how dangerous Madrimov was, so that's why he was doing the feints. It was a very flawless
Right.
performance by Crawford.
Yeah, nah, I agree. He was jabbing the hell out of Madrimov in that fight. People didn't see that. He was beating him to the punch in the first 4 or 5 rounds. He was catching with the jab, going to the body, outpointing him. Even with all the feints he was doing, he wasn't really getting at him like that. You know what I mean? Like,
So that means you have to avoid the power punch the entire 12 rounds. You have to go the whole fight like he did. He didn't really take no real clear. He took maybe 1 or 2 clear flush ones, but if he could do that with Canelo, maybe he can get the victory.
but this is
But you,
different. Canelo's not gonna be on his toes like Madrimov was. Canelo got to set his feet to like hit him, and Bud gonna be coming with some hot shit. There's gonna be some hot shit coming back towards Canelo, and he gonna C-step, he gonna V-step, C-step in the pocket. He's real good in the pocket, and he not gonna be able to find Bud like that. He will, but he won't. He will, but he won't.
B step, C step. What was that, man?
So when you're in the pocket, coach could the trainer of the year up there could explain, elaborate on that. But when the pocket is moving out the way. It's a V, it's a C and a V. Like he basically stepping around and away from danger. So he's in the pocket. Now you see me, now you don't. Like what he was doing with Spence in I would say the 4th round or the 5th round. The 4th round when he started like really working him. Like he was hitting him in the body and then moving him and pushing Canelo and then he gonna push Canelo. He was pushing Spence out the way.
Be careful pushing now. I want you, when you push, you leave yourself open for them vicious uppercuts to the body. Watch out for those.
That's true too, but Crawford is great at grappling in the clinch. He's very strong in the clinch, and people don't. I think he's gonna utilize his clinch more. That will help Crawford. When Canelo get close, he know how to tie up. You know what I'm saying? But only time will tell. We got a month away. I can't wait. I'm trolling everyone, and mine's gonna owe me 30 diamonds. That's what's up.
Well, with the grappling, I think the grappling would favor Canelo heavily. I think if he gets in the grappling early, I think he gets Crawford out of there in 8 or 9 rounds because he's going to be too tired and he's not going to be able to use his legs because of all that grappling early. So I want him to use the feet, not the grappling.
I agree to a certain extent, but you could wear Canelo down, stamina wise. Like Canelo gasses out late. He got a history of gassing out late. Like, let's be real. If Bill had power, he would have stopped him. He would have fucking stopped Canelo. If he had power,
oh my God,
he would have stopped.
Oh my God.
Did you see how he was hit? How Bivol was hitting on Canelo in the late, and especially late in the 11th round? Miles, I don't know if you watched that fight, but
the height, the arms was too long. He had long arms.
Yeah,
his arms was long.
Crawford got a 4-inch reach advantage on him. On
oh, okay.
And he
like
got
that.
at least an inch taller than him too, so he could use a little movement. You know what I mean? Get out the way, or probably implement the same kind of game plan that Bivol did. But the difference is, I don't think Crawford just stand there and let Canelo beat on his arms like Bivol did, because that'd be bad look on Bug part. He'll be in trouble.
Well, Mazuma, we need to ask him ask the panel the same question we asked each other. For if you had to wager 5 years in prison of your freedom on the winner of this fight, who would you pick? This is how I'm gonna get an honest answer out of you, sir.
Yo,
5 years of your freedom. You got to go to the penitentiary.
Yo, fam, Bud, you got to tell Bud I'm in there. I'm there.
Oh, you betting with Bud?
Betting on Crawford, 100%. I put 400 on the money line for the 850 for the stoppage. It's a bet.
But your heart, yeah, I put the money on him. But if I had to bet,
it ain't high as yours. It ain't as high as yours. But you know what it is. Like,
I didn't bet anything.
I bet.
I didn't bet anything.
I'm not wasting no more opportunities, Mazuma. I wasted the opportunity. I should have bet on Hopkins Trinidad. That was the biggest money miss I ever made. I should have bet on that because logically I should have known Tito can't beat that guy because he's from Philadelphia. Philly too hard. They beat up people from they too hard. He grew up in the penitentiary. You can't beat him. He's solid. Like you can't beat him. He throw elbows, headbutts, knees.
The chat saying Mazuma, they I can't see the chat. They talking crazy.
They not saying that.
Shout out to the chat, man. We in the building.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's why I'm betting all of it. I want to get rich off of this because I think it's gonna be like a world changing event because this gonna change the whole landscape of boxing, sir. The whole landscape of boxing will get flipped upside down on this axis.
I think you're right about that too. But you get me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I was saying OG is right about the landscape. It'll change the landscape. You're talking about Crawford wins, right?
Yes. It's like Michael Vick winning the Super Bowl.
But I think Crawford gonna get a lot more credit if he wins. Canelo ain't gonna get that much credit if he wins. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the
zero credit.
That's the pros and cons that come with fighting somebody that's moving up in weight, though. That's why Canelo said early on that it's a lose-lose situation for him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Before they even materialize the fight, he was saying how it's a lose-lose for him because if he beat him, they're gonna say he was too small. But if he loses to him, you lost to somebody who moved up multiple weight classes.
But here's the thing, though. He been running from Benavidez for years. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, we've been saying that.
Yeah, I know.
But that's smart, though. That's smart. I'm glad he ran away from Benavidez so Crawford could get the glory. Benavidez would have destroyed that man and took all of Terrence Crawford the glory. Now Crawford gonna jump over Mayweather as the greatest boxer ever. He's gonna jump over Mayweather with this victory.
If he beat up Canelo and stop him, he will be the greatest of all time.
Damn.
Yeah. Philadelphia in the building.
Three-time undisputed, Maz.
3-time undisputed, Maz. Come on.
Come on, fam.
It's my ex-wife birthday. It's my ex-wife birthday, 8/16.
Birthday to the queen. Philly, stand up.
Appreciate it.
Word. Yo, Miles, 30 diamonds, man. Sam Notes. Yo, let's talk about that fight. Matter of fact, real quick.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
So the way Paez, if he get hit like Paez hit him, it's over. That dude hit harder than Paez. Paez dropped Abdullah multiple times, and he's open. He's there for the take. There's holes in there when he in the exchange. I'm talking about them white boys that stick their chin right there and get hit. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's just
Sam Noakes,
I ain't putting money on it.
I'll tell you what, if Sam Noakes sit there in front of Abdullah, he gonna get stopped. Promise you that.
They both could get, he could get, he's definitely more likely to get stopped. I end up doing the diamond.
I'm watching Abdullah as we speak against Vasquez.
I end up doing
Nah, you're gonna be doing them diamonds for sure because Abdullah's gonna win that fight.
I do it on the live for sure.
I don't see how Sam knows to win that fight. Like Abdullah,
that dude punches hard.
Yo, I tell you this, Chef Josh. I tell you this right now. If Abdullah gets stopped by Sam Noakes, I'll do 30 diamonds on the decline.
Oh shit!
Swear to God.
Yo, I ain't doing no 30 diamonds on no decline.
I'm saying I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm over the 250 mark right now. I get down.
Yo, M Banks. Hey, you right about that. You heard what he said about Crawford. He said he will be the greatest of all. Thank you. I finally got somebody to back me up on that, man.
Yeah,
that's real. Man. Give that man his credit. Man.
3-time undisputed. You can't.
He ain't never got no credit, have he? He still ain't got his credit. He ain't gonna get his credit then, probably.
No, but check this out. Why not? Never mind. No, I'll take that back.
Let's talk about the.
What you gonna say? Say it.
No, I was thinking Canelo technically 2-time undisputed. Never mind.
Because he won middleweight champ twice.
Nah, because he became undisputed at 68. He gave his belt up to William Skull, then he took the belt back from William Skull. So he 2-time.
For me, you don't get the same achievement in the same weight class twice. You could only get it. For me, that because it's a one-time achievement, in my opinion.
No, it's not. If you get stripped of a big deal, if you get stripped of a title and you win it back, how you don't deserve to be undisputed?
Because he fought a track star. He fought somebody that didn't go on to fight.
Yo, listen, I understand all of that, but I'm not talking about the style that he went up against. I'm not even talking about William Skull. And Coffee, you're right, it's not the same feeling. But if we being technical, he was mandated to fight William Skull. He chose not to. The IBF, they stripped him of the belt, or he relinquished the belt. Whatever the case was, the IBF was no longer in his possession. When he beat Vladimir Shishkin, he becomes the IBF super middleweight champion. So that, you know what I mean, people didn't really put too much respect on William Skull's name, but at the same time, he did it. And Usyk did the same thing. He gave his belt up. Then he went and he beat Dubois and took the belt back.
Yeah, he did it too. He did whoop him up on that. He did take
It's on the part when Abdullah got dropped. Abdullah just got dropped with a left hook.
He got dropped twice.
Yeah.
In the first round.
And then he get caught, let's say no, catch him.
Listen, this is why I believe, Chef, this is exactly why I think Abdullah Mason gonna dominate this fight, right? I'm gonna tell you why.
He's aware of that.
Because for one, he understands the magnitude of this fight. He understands the magnitude of this fight, and he knows that going up against Sam Noakes, you already know they studying. This is their first shot at a world title and cement themselves in the lightweight division. You better believe they doing their homework. They see what Sam Noakes do good, and their whole main objective is going to be to neutralize Sam Noakes. When you watch Sam Noakes fight, he specializes at fighting at close range. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right. A lot of the time when he brutalizing people, he's finding a way in. You know what I mean? Once he gets in close quarters, he drop them bombs on you and he break you up. You could tell Sam Noakes got very hands. You could tell he's very powerful, but within close range. With Abdullah Mason having that reach, And if he's able to keep Sam Noakes at the end of his jab and fire off combinations at range, he's gonna stop Sam Noakes. And plus, and the reason why I genuinely believe that is because Abdullah Mason, he has speed, he has power, but he also has great punch placement. His accuracy is top tier.
I'm not arguing that Abdullah's.
I know that. I'm just saying that's why I believe he gonna stop it.
Betting on Sam Noakes, the 30 diamonds. You know what I'm saying? That's the word for that's the word that you know what I'm saying? I'll do that because if he hits him like Paez did, he gonna stop him. He'll stop him. If he put him down, that's what I'm saying. He'll finish him.
Hey, Mazuma, let me speak on this Abdullah Mason character. I just watched a couple rounds of him. I like the way when he gets knocked down, he gets up, he gets his composure, and like you say, his punch placement is excellent. He almost knocked him out with that first knockdown. When he got back up, when he knocked down dude the first time, he almost knocked him out.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So yeah, I see the greatness. I see the greatness you're talking about. He look like he could be great.
Old Paez too.
Go watch his last fight against Nakatila.
That's what I'm saying. Noakes ain't Nakatila. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Mazuma. So for me, right, this whole undisputed thing, right? So, I mean, once you go undisputed, right, it already says that you're the clear champion in the division, right? I mean, you've already answered all the questions that needs to be answered in that division. So chasing it again, I mean, to me, doesn't add legacy. You drop a belt, you win it again. What is that proving, right?
You're still the best in your division?
Yeah, but this is something that you already achieved. Like, you got to do what Bud did to be considered a multi-undisputed champion, right? Or some other guys did, from one weight class to the other. That shows it, in my opinion. You dominate one weight class, then you dominate.
It is more impressive if you do it in multiple divisions, but the reality still stands. If you become undisputed, you know what I mean, somebody else ends up obtaining your belt and you win it again, technically you're undisputed again. So I do put more respect on going up in divisions and becoming undisputed in multiple divisions. I'll give you a lot more kudos for that. But let's say you got a fighter who's, you know, prefers to stay in one division, like a Marvin Hagler, or, you know, like Sean Porter was a career welterweight, whatever the case is. If you choose to stick around at one weight and just dominate your entire tenure there, I'm gonna give you credit for that. And that I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna give them the same. I'm not going to give them as much props as like going from 40 to becoming undisputed to 47 to become undisputed, then possibly 68 to become undisputed. That's a different level. But you know what I'm saying? If you're not fulfilling your mandatories and, you know, the sanctioning body does what it has to do in order to, you know, maintain some type of fairness in the sport and giving another contender an opportunity and they win the title, and that former undisputed champion goes on to defeat that guy, then he became undisputed once again, and that'll just solidify his dominance in the weight class. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, Usyk did it because he wasn't, you know, he was caught up. I forgot exactly where he was caught up, but he went. I think he was actually caught up in the second Tyson Fury fight. So he let go of his belt. Danny Dubois ended up winning it, I think, against Anthony Joshua. All right, cool. So now he out here, you know, he doing his thing, having his world title. Usyk like, all right, let's run it back so I can get my belt back. Because now I got time. He goes and he beats him. You gotta respect that. So he became technically 3-time undisputed.
So that's on your record.
I mean,
no matter how you win it, that's on
3-time undisputed in 2 different weight classes.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I could respect it, but for me, it's just not. You just can't get that achievement again. Like, I don't consider Usyk a 3-time undisputed. Like, I don't even consider Clarissa Shields all that times undisputed.
Bro, what you mean you don't consider it? It's a fact.
Don't consider that happened. That happened.
Well, again, I'm saying for me.
When they go down in history, when they go down in the Hall of Fame,
you just disregard facts. You like, oh, to me, he didn't become undisputed again, but he did.
I know they counted. Like, I know they counted, but for me.
Okay. Now, I respect their opinion, but when Bud does it, that's going to be way more impressive.
I mean, yeah, because he's moving up to another weight class to get it, so you got to give him that props. I don't know. I don't know if you guys are like comparing the Majimov fight to this Canelo fight, but for me, that's like a completely different style. And I kind of appreciate, I appreciate what Majimov did in that fight. Like me watching that fight, like I was confused as hell, like watching Majimov's rhythm.
He gave mad problems.
Yeah, and the way he fought Bud with like patience and with discipline, and he kind of deceived Bud in that fight. Like Bud never fought a style like that, and you could tell because he deceived him a lot of times in that fight. From the way he uses his angles, like his footwork and his feints, like his feints were throwing him off big time. Like every time Crawford tried to set up his rhythm, like Majimov would disrupt it with like a fake shift, like a sudden change in tempo.
Yeah, he'll just make him reset. He was making Bud reset. And
yeah, that's why the fight felt like a chess match.
One at a time.
Yeah, so that's why the fight kind of felt like a chess match. And the way like Majimov was like neutralizing Bud offense. I did think Bud won the fight, but that was a tough fight for Bud. But with this Canelo fight, it's not going to be anything like that because Canelo can box, but he's telegraphed. So I think this is going to be a little bit easier than the Majimov fight, but we'll see how Bud deals with that power at 68. Not only power, but Canelo can box as well.
Let me ask y'all a question. So, I mean, basically, I'm just throwing it out there. You know what I mean? It's gonna look kind of like that David Avanesian fight. Stay with me now. Get locked in. Do you see the vision? See the vision, Miles? So high guard, trying to walk Bud down. Bud is gonna use the jab like how Bivol did, keep it in Canelo face and then throw the body shot. You know what I'm saying? Like he likes to blind the guys with the high guard and then come with his left hand or right hand to the body. You know what I'm saying? He's going to do that a lot during the fight. Just watch for that. Canelo, I mean, he don't really throw the right hand crazy like that. His shit is the left hook to the body, and you know what I'm saying? He goes double. He'll go body and then go upstairs. But like I said, Bud with the B steps and the C steps, and he gonna disrupt some stuff, man. I'm telling you. You know what I mean? He like to get out the way during the counters, and he's a counter attacker. He's a guy that's gonna make you miss, but he's gonna attack you within the exchange. He's looking to make you miss and then keep attacking you. So I don't think Canelo fought a fighter really like that since like Triple G, but Triple G don't put his punches together like Bud do. You know what I mean? Go ahead, take the floor.
Yeah, I think Bud to me is the is that it? Damn it. Me echoing or something else?
All right, Teach, go ahead. Say what you was gonna say.
Yeah. So Bud to me, he's a stationary fighter, right? I don't know if he's gonna use his jab like Bivol. I don't think he could use his jab like Bivol because the way Bivol uses his jab, he uses his legs as well. And Bud doesn't use his legs to do the same thing that Bivol does. What Bud is good at is countering. So he's going to be right there with you and trying to counter. Again, I don't know.
I was gonna say not to cut you off, but I was gonna say that Terrence Crawford could use his jab to disrupt Canelo's offense and offset like his timing. You know what I'm saying? Because we seen that a little bit in the Errol Spence fight. Whenever Errol Spence was about to get like attempt to establish his offense, Bud is just interrupting with the jab. Boom, boom. And they called it the sledgehammer jab. But we seen historically that, Canelo Alvarez has always struggled with a good jab. Like we go look back at that Triple G fight, and Triple G had a lot of success with his lead hand. And, especially those first two fights. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sure that Terrence Crawford team and them, you already know they drilling that jab because they want to be able to keep Canelo Alvarez at the end of their punches and pretty much keep him at the center of the ring. the more that I really analyze this fight, I see more ways that, Terrence Crawford could really win it. Canelo Alvarez, to be honest with you, especially the older version of him, I can't really speak on the, I don't think Canelo is the way he was at 160 or 154. This current version of Canelo Alvarez almost seems like he refuses to be offensive unless he has his guys up against the ropes. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like he walks him to the corner. All right, I got him where I want. Boom, boom. Then he'll rip off the hooks either to the head or to the body. And a lot of the times, especially in that Williams Skull fight, a lot of his punches was, telegraphed, like you were saying. You see what I mean? So I think if Terrence Crawford still has his mobility, still has his speed, still has his athleticism, I think that he could give Canelo a lot of problems and possibly outbox him. And when you tapping into Terrence Crawford mentality going into this fight, he's saying, yo, I don't need to knock him out because that's not the only way to win. So I think in Terrence Crawford's head is just to win the rounds. If the stoppage happens, it is what it is. But I think that he understands that Canelo is durable and he could take a hell of a shot. Cool. So with him knowing that and him going up in weight, most likely he knows that he's probably going to hit Canelo with some shots that he'll probably walk through. So the whole game plan with Terrence Crawford, to be honest with you, is probably just going to be win these rounds.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Get them 7 out of them 12. Try to bag 7 of the 12 rounds. Try to get it to the scorecards. You feel what I'm saying? But as long as you keep – I feel like I think Crawford will find a lot of success if he keeps that shit in the center of the ring. I honestly believe that. Let me see.
I believe that too. I
agree with everything you just said.
So everything that you said, I'm gonna add on top of running him into shots, because what he'd like to do is he'll use the angle to step around him, and then Canelo is gonna try to throw, and then there's an uppercut to the body that Bud likes to use. There's a I would say a array of punches, like a combination. He likes to put 1-2, 1-2. Try to make you miss and then attack again. 1-2, 1-2. If you look at the Spence fight in the third round, that's what he was doing. Now, I mean, from the third round on, like that's what he was doing. But I ain't saying that that Canelo is Spence. I'm just saying that Canelo got to load up on his shots. He got to set his feet, plant his feet, and then throw a hard shot. You could see that coming from a mile away, like Mazuma said. Like, he was telegraphing a lot of his shots at William Skull, but it was mostly out of frustration because William Skull was just moving around the ring all the time. You know what I'm saying?
You know what a lot of people don't acknowledge, though, with that William Skull fight? I feel like if William Skull would have been more consistent with his offense, he probably would have outboxed Canelo, bro.
Yeah, the same thing.
Bro, I was watching William Skull. He was being a little bit too hesitant, and you could chalk that up to him just not being that experienced at a high level. But Skull was laying some nice little counters on Canelo. It just wasn't consistent enough to get the rounds. So I'm sure if Terrence Crawford really studying Canelo, he need to look back at that William Skull, John, because William Skull could fight a little bit. I know that he gets a lot of criticism. He could rumble. He just gotta. You know what I mean? He gotta be willing to take more chances, get him that little mental block going on. But he was laying some uppercuts on Canelo, he was running him in the shots.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
I feel like Skull is looking back at this fight saying, damn, I wish I did more.
That's I guarantee it. I bet you he watched back the fight because Canelo puts a lot of mental pressure on you too. So he constantly looking, and in your head you like, damn, like this motherfucker don't stop, stepping forward. You know what I mean? He give you like that, he give you the same vibes like if you were to go up against like a Sue Burrell, it's like nonstop, and you can hit him with whatever. He just unfazed. That puts a lot of mental pressure on you, and you can start to doubt yourself as a result of that. So with William Skull being inexperienced, not as an amateur, but as a pro, especially at a high level when the lights are at its brightest, the lights don't get much brighter than a Canelo Alvarez fight at super middleweight. You see what I mean? So I genuinely feel like he felt like in his head he was in more trouble than what he actually was. So I bet you, and I agree with you, I bet you that he went back and watched that fight. It was like, man, what the fuck was I thinking? Like I could have really did something, because that was like bro. Skull, if he was really locked in, he could have fucked that money up, bro. I genuinely feel like that. He could have fucked that whole thing up.
Let me add this, Maz, because if you look at the Lara fight, he was running Canelo into the same kind of shots. He just didn't have the power to like really do any damage like that crazy. But he did outbox Canelo, and I felt like he won the fight. But William Skull if he would have like let his hands go, like he had Canelo out of position mad times after he made a miss, and he could have countered him with some crazy ass shit. And I think Bud is gonna implement a piece of that. I feel like a piece of that plan. You know what I mean? But we're gonna see.
Yeah.
He might come in and just try to go toe to toe with him.
Yeah, but Mazuma, you broke it down well, man. The way you analyze it, that's 100% because Bud is not gonna win like the same way Mel tried to do it, right? And a lot of people in the community are saying, "Yo, Bud has to move, Bud has to move," but that's not what it is. You said it like Bud. What he does is like he controls the range and he makes you make those mistakes with his feints and his jab, right? He makes you make those mistakes. And again, if he stays off the ropes, keep it in the middle of the ring, picks his moment. I mean, he's gonna frustrate Canelo, man. And I think he has to fight that way in order to win.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
There's more than one way to beat Canelo, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But my biggest question mark going into this fight is how the way Bud's body's gonna react to the super middleweight limit. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. Like, how is his body gonna react? How is his feet gonna be underneath him? How's his punch resistance gonna be? Because there may be a time in the fight where he gets hit with a clean shot from Canelo. How is he gonna be able to stand up to that? How is his stamina gonna be? Because typically these guys get in crazy shape because they have to train hard to get that weight up off of them. With Terrence Crawford, he's training hard, but not as hard as he has to train to get down to 54 or 47. You know what I mean? It's going to be less work. To be honest with you, he's still going to be putting in work, but it's not going to be as much as, how, the crazy shape he had to get in for like an Earl Spence fight, a MarkMazuma fight. You know what I mean? They don't want him to get too low, so he's going to be doing a lot of, strength work. I feel like it's not going to be as much cardio involved as it would be, in previous camps and shit like that. So how is his conditioning going to be? Little stuff like that. You feel what I mean? If he's able to answer those questions, then I would have no doubt in my mind that he could beat Canelo, bro. Especially after that last performance. I'm telling you, he could do it.
He will do it. He will. I'm betting on the guy that got shot in the head and drove himself to the hospital. I'm betting on him. That's it.
That's gangster.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but I look at it like this: what Maz said, picking up on what he said, the stuff that Crawford can like emulate as far as like running Canelo into shots, it's more gonna be on. It's not about movement with Crawford. It's about range, controlling the range, and that's with the jab, and that's with a lot of the shots to the body. Nobody really hit Canelo to the body like that, or work Canelo to the body like Bud is gonna do. He's gonna implement that. I hope he does, but Bud likes to go to the body, but Canelo, yeah.
Why you think that is? That people, real quick, why you think it is that people don't want to go to Canelo body? Why you think that is?
Because Canelo's very dangerous with that left hook. You know what I mean? Like in close quarters, he's dangerous with the left hook to the body and body shots, period, in general. And that left hook, like he knows how to knock niggas out. I mean, like power shots. He knows how to put his power shots together if you're there to be hit. That's the thing. Bud gotta time his attacks. You know what I mean? He gotta time his beat. When he get inside, he gotta time Canelo's body shots. He got to put his high guard up when he's escaping, and we'll see how he takes those hits because he will get hit in the high guard on the gloves or on the arms, and we'll see how he reacts. Bud's a dog. Bud's not gonna I don't think and he's smart though. I ain't gonna say that Bud is gonna just stand there and get beat on, but
I'll tell you this though,
yeah.
and I agree that I agree that Bud is a dog, but I think he got to control that dog a little bit if he want to come out successful against Canelo. Because Terrence Crawford got this tendency where when he get hit with a good shot, he want to go get that shit back. Or like he knows like, all right, now it's war time. You know what I mean? It's either you or me. I don't think he could afford to have that mentality with somebody like Canelo, bro. Just to
Well,
be honest, I think he got even if he get hit with a good shot, he gotta stay composed. Kind of like what Ryo did with Pitbull, right? Where he realized that like, trading fire with Pitbull, that's Pitbull's game. You feel me? So even when Ryo had gotten hit with a good shot from Pitbull, he stood on the move. He kept boxing him. He kept boxing him all the way until, he got that decision and he outclassed him. I think Bud needs to tap into that mentality a little bit that even when I get hit with a good shot, I just can't crash out. I just can't jump out the window. You know what I mean? Because that could possibly lead to a mistake that could cost me, the outcome of the fight. You know what I'm saying? So I think that he gonna have to, And the reason why I'm muting you, Chef Josh, is because you're getting a little bit of feedback while we be talking. It sounds like a little buffering on your end. So that's why I'm just trying to. I'm not doing it to cut you off or anything like that, brother.
No, it's cool. It's mad ACs and all that shit on in the crib and shit.
Oh, all right.
but I'm just hoping that it's not too much strength training for Bud, because I mean the goal isn't to become a big puncher. I mean it's just to make sure that he's strong enough to hold his ground, right, when he has to. But also be conditioning enough to go those 12 rounds, like to be elusive. But one thing we also know about Canelo, man, Canelo is not he's not well conditioned. Like he starts off the fight throwing like hard punches, and by the mid rounds to the later rounds, he's always tired.
What's this guy's name that's talking?
Teach.
Yo, Teach. That's exactly like the whole conclusion. You just broke down the whole conclusion of how the fight is gonna go. Canelo's best chance is the first 7 rounds. First 7 rounds, Canelo, that's his chance to like really wear down Bud to get him late or win a decision. But like T said, if Bud stays away, if he controls the range, the David Avanesian fight is the closest thing we're gonna get to like how the Bud fight was gonna look. Because high guard, Avanesian was still putting pressure, and he still was landing shots on Bud too. You know what I'm saying? So, forget the Mazuma fight. We already know that's a different style. But I look back at some of the fights Bud had, and Avanesian is the closest thing to Canelo as far as high guard and walking forward and landing shots, blocking shots. He was able to hit Bud a few times before he got knocked out, but Bud can't fight Canelo like he did Avanesian, in my opinion. I'll leave it.
Now I have a question for you guys. Do you think this is a super fight?
Yeah, of course.
It could be viewed that way, but then it could be viewed as not that way, considering the fact that Terrence Crawford, he set out his own mouth. He moving up 3 weight classes. So because of that, people may look at that as like a serious disadvantage for Bud, and that's probably why they're not gonna call it a super fight. Because a super fight, from what I see, is usually like when it's like the best fighting the best, like 2 generational talents fighting each other, and nobody's really at a disadvantage going into the fight. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I look at. It could be viewed that way. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people hold Bud to a high regard. You know what I mean? Pound for pound level type fighter. Now you got Canelo Alvarez, who's one of the greatest of this era in his own right. So it could be viewed that way. So I guess it just depends on who you're talking to.
And to add on that, I feel like it's a super fight because everybody's picking Canelo just to win and just walk on all over Bud. Rightfully so with the weight advantage, but Bud walks around at 185. Like this guy, and everybody was accusing him of steroid. We're not gonna get into all that.
No, we're not.
But the whole thing about it was He's at a comfortable weight where he don't have to cut down crazy no more and all that to get to 54 and all that. But I feel like this is a legacy fight more than a super fight. This is more of a legacy for Bud, not for Canelo really, but really more for Bud. You know what I'm saying? Because if Canelo win, everybody gonna expect it. Boom. Bud win, that changes, like the OG said earlier. He changes the whole dynamic of the game with that win.
I agree 100%. I'm gonna answer this question, then I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Cause I've been up on here for 2 hours already. Shout out to the boy R3 in the building. Y'all can answer the question as well, since y'all on the chat. On the live with me. He says, "What does Canelo need to do to beat Crawford? What would be your advice to Canelo to beat a great switch hitter like Terrence Crawford?" That's a great question, R3. I think everybody's talking about what Canelo needs. What Crawford needs to do, and nobody's really talking about what Canelo needs to do. I think Canelo Alvarez. And I'm not trying to, and this is easier said than done. I say this all the time when I make these like keys to victory and stuff like that. I think Canelo needs to let it be known off of the rip that he is the bigger, stronger guy. You know what I'm saying? I think at this present moment with Canelo Alvarez, I don't think that he could sit there and try to prove to Terrence Crawford that he's the more athletic fighter, that he's the more, in shape fighter or anything like that. I think that he needs to prove that, that he's the bigger guy, and I think he needs to assert his dominance off of the rip. And with Canelo having, a granite chin for what we've seen, I think Canelo has to be okay with in the early rounds getting hit with certain shots just to prove to Crawford that, like, it don't matter what you're doing here. And I don't glorify taking punishment, especially as a boxing coach. But when we considering the styles that's going on right now, I think Canelo Alvarez has to almost be okay with getting hit just to show Bud, like, yo, this is a different division. This is a different type of power. This is a different type of strength you're going in here against. This ain't no motherfucking Earl Spence at 47. You fighting an undisputed champion at 168 pounds. I think Canelo Alvarez needs to be who he usually has been, applying his pressure, walking the Bud. And once he gets Bud in a certain situation, AKA, and also mentioning cutting the ring off effectively, not following, not following around like he did with William Skull. I think that he needs to utilize a bit of his upper body movement like he did in them earlier days. I think he needs to cut off the ring effectively, and he needs to punch. He needs to land on Bud, whether it's on the elbows, the shoulders, the chest. You know what I mean? The body, whatever the case is. I think that he needs to drain as much energy off of Terrence Crawford as he can in the early rounds, so he can have more success in the mid to later rounds. You know what I mean? So I think if he applies effective pressure, cuts off the ring effectively, and places these big punches and and is able to wear Terrence Crawford down, I think that he could do a lot of damage to Bud. And I'm not gonna say stop him, but I think they could have an understanding and pretty much have it going his way. But like I said, it's easier said than done.
Yep.
Everything that you just said was I was gonna say, but I would say, if he gets Crawford on the ropes, he's gonna probe him. When Canelo gets guys on the ropes, he probes them to the ropes, and then he like holds them there, and then he like loads up on the body or the head. If he gets Bud on the rope and Bud is in the high guard, ready to take that shit, he could knock him out. I'm not gonna lie, he might stop him if he gets him like that. But that's what I'm saying. Bud can't get him on the ropes, but that's what Canelo got to do. Exactly what you said. To win the fight. But I would say probe him on the trap him in the corners and probe him with that arm and just load on him.
But what's crazy? Crawford counters really well off of the ropes. I seen that shit in the Earl Spence fight.
Absolutely, he did. Canelo got to worry about that too. That's why it's a hard fight.
That's why Crawford got all the tools to beat Canelo. It's just a matter of, can he fight at that weight or not?
Yep. So Mazuma, man, you said it all, man.
Yo, salute to you, Mazuma, man, and salute to you, T. Salute to the chat. I'll holler at y'all tomorrow or later.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you
all day, man.
Yeah, you're pretty much flawless with this breakdown, man. It's all about imposing his size, his power, his timing. While kind of forcing Bud to be in uncomfortable spots, like you said. He can't allow Crawford to control distance with any sort of movements, right? And counters. Canelo, as you said, like needs to cut the ring off consistently if he tries to do that. And make Canelo fight off and make Crawford fight off the ropes, because that's where Canelo does his damage, right, with the body shots.
Yeah.
To slow him down. But Canelo also has to be patient because Bud is kind of tricky, so he needs to pick his moments and like kind of avoid overcommitting, because he could get countered in any of those situations. Just make every punch count. Like essentially he has to turn the fight into a pressure and power contest, because that's his style. Like he's gonna punch you in the arm all over, just to siphon your stamina. And take Bud out of his comfort zone, and that's how he wins. Yeah, you broke it down flawlessly, man. I agree with everything you just said.
All right, man. I appreciate you, Teach. I appreciate you coming on. And like I said, to everybody that comes up on here, man, you're welcome to come on the channel anytime, brother. So you got any last words before we get up out of here?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me up and cooking with you. Great live tonight. Salute to everybody in the panel and peace.
All right, man. Shout out to the boy T. Shout out to my Antigua brothers, man. All right, y'all. I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Great live. Definitely a great live, man. I definitely gotta start bringing people on here more often. You feel what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's in the building. If y'all can go ahead and hit the like button on the way out, that'd be very much appreciated. Like I said, we're on the road to 4K. We're looking to get 4K by the end of 2025. If we're able to do so, that'd be very much appreciated. You know what I mean? Shout out to Vitamin Energy. You know what I mean? That's what powers Mazuma TV, the official sponsor of Mazuma TV. You feel what I mean? Most likely, I got to see what time I get home tomorrow. I'm going to be at an amateur show tomorrow. I got 3 guys fighting tomorrow out in Freehold, New Jersey. So if you're in the Central Jersey area, man, feel free to stop by. We're going to be at shit, I don't even know, man. I can't even give you all that information. Freehold, New Jersey. It's going to be Semper Fit Boxing's amateur card, man. And we're going to put on a great display of boxing. So hopefully I'll get back home on time so I can tap in with y'all. You feel what I mean? And we could possibly, I don't know what time, most of the time in Dillian White fighting, so I might not be able to do a live fight commentary, but I'm going to do everything I can to make sure I do a post-fight reaction to that fight. You feel what I'm saying? Of course, Raymond Ford, Abraham Nova, all that good stuff, man. So I'll holler at y'all, man. I hope y'all have a blessed, beautiful one. I'm up out of here, man. Peace.